y'all, today we're making air fryer potatoes, so let's get started. Of course we need potatoes, we need olive oil, and then we need my favorite seasonings, seasoned salt, garlic salt, onion powder, and some black pepper. Okay, you can definitely play around with the seasonings, but those are my favorite base seasonings. So of course we're going to start with peeling the skin from our potatoes. So you just want to cut like so. If you want to use a potato peeler, knock yourself out. Like I've told y'all before, I'm old school. I like to use a knife, and I really find the knife to be easier than a potato peeler. So really just comes down to you. So just, go in here and make sure that you remove all the skin. Well, I guess like if you wanted to keep a little skin on, you really could. But you just want to take all in this case, what I'm showing you, take all the skin off of your potatoes, and then we're going to dice them into pieces. Now, you can dice them into large pieces, you can dice them into small pieces. It really doesn't matter. Just, whatever size pieces that you want. This is 4 potatoes. It made about 6 cups of potatoes. That's about how many you need, just according to the recipe and the seasonings. But, definitely tailor it to you. So these potatoes are like good for breakfast, they're good for dinner, they're good anytime. They're crispy on the outside and they're a little softer on the inside. If you don't like your potatoes crispy on the outside, then you may want to adjust your cooking time for your potatoes. Okay, so just keep cutting them. As I'm cutting the potatoes, I set these to the side as I went because this was my first potato that I was cutting, but as you'll see here in a little bit, I placed the potatoes in water as I kept cutting, just so they wouldn't turn brown while I was cutting the rest of the potatoes. I am using my foodie grill for these potatoes, the air fryer setting. You can use any air fryer to cook your potatoes because they all have the same heat settings. They all pretty much cook the same way. Okay, so use whatever device that you have. If you don't have an air fryer, we have another fried breakfast potato recipe that you want to check out. So here's our potatoes in our water. So we have them nice and soaking. So we're going to go ahead and preheat our air fryer at this point to 390 degrees, like I said, and then I'm going to leave it on the 20-minute setting. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and rinse my potatoes. You can use a colander. I always like to do something difficult or country or whatever. So I'm just rinsing them like this, and just rinse your potatoes thoroughly to make sure that you get them really clean. I did this in about 3 or 4 batches because I had them in this bowl. I was doing it the difficult way. But of course, you may not have to rinse them as much in the colander. Just make sure that they're really clean. And then once you're done, make sure that you drain all of the excess water. You don't have to put them on a paper towel or anything. Just make sure that you drain the water from your potatoes. So we have them in this bowl ready to go. So I'm going to add my olive oil, and first, before I add any seasonings, and what I like to do is go ahead and give the potatoes a really good toss. As you can see, as I'm tossing, the potatoes getting shinier and shinier. Once you see that you have that shine on most of your potatoes, then you have your olive oil well coated on your potatoes. So I'll just go ahead and grab my seasoning, give that a little shake so it's just, all blended together, and then go ahead and toss that over my potatoes, and then go back in here with my tongs and just move the potatoes around so I can get the seasoning evenly coated on the potatoes. And once it becomes even, you can see the patches of the seasoning going away, and it's just kind of like an even coat. It has that little, I guess you can say, like an orangey tint. So then you want to go ahead and add your potatoes to your air fryer, and you don't want to overcrowd your air fryer with the potatoes, but you can fit quite a bit in here. They just, just need, like, you need to be able to see little bits of space in between the potatoes. Now I'm doing these in 2 separate batches because of how many potatoes there are and the capacity of my air fryer. For picture purposes, I'm making so many potatoes for this recipe. But you can place your potatoes in the refrigerator and store them. If you don't finish eating them, I keep them for no more than 2 or 3 days, or they start to lose their zap. So you can see 15 minutes later, these potatoes are done. They're nice and crispy, and they're ready to go, y'all. Delicious air fried potatoes, like only 15 minutes. Like I said, you can cook them ahead of time and store them, so it's just really definitely convenient. This is how I make my potatoes now when I don't feel like making them in the skillet. But like I said, we have an awesome air fryer breakfast potato recipe that you can check out if you don't have an air fryer. And that is simply it. As always, thank you for watching this video and for all your support. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and make sure that you come back for more delicious recipes.